Let us see how to read Avro file as a data source within Spark. Before that, let's have a quick introduction on what is Avro file. Avro file is a generic file serialization technique where it can be used to transfer the data from one system to another system over the network or through the wire or by some other means. It's very compact and it uses the binary data format, and generally it's used to store or persist the data as well. Its data structure is very rich and it's very easy to integrate for reading and writing purpose without the code generation. It supports two types of data compression. One is Google Snappy compression, another one is deflate compression. Within deflate compression we can define the level, and for compression codec Snappy is the default one. In case if I wanted to have deflate compression, explicitly I can mention what type of compression to be used internally. So I'm going to create a Avro file from a data frame, write it as a Avro file and read back the same file once again so that we can complete the loop of reading a Avro as well as writing a Avro file from Spark. To facilitate reading of Avro file, Databricks provides a package called Spark Avro of version 4.0.0 for the scalar version 2.11. I'm going to use this specific package. So while starting the Spark shell, I'll use this specific package and start the Spark shell. So I'm starting the Spark shell with the package com.databricks. Within that, I'm going to use the package Spark Avro for scalar version 2.11, and the version of package I wanted to use is 4.0.0. So that's the detail over here. I'll start the Spark shell. I'll import the classes within com.databricks.spark.avro. I'm going to create a data frame from a JSON file so that I can use that specific data frame to write as a Avro file. I'm reading a JSON file. It's a single line JSON file, so automatically it would get read and I'll be getting a data frame. I'm going to write this data frame in this specific location. So I have the data frame. I can print the schema, what it is. So it has the city, location, population and state. I'm going to convert this into an Avro file or serialize as a Avro file and write it. I'm going to serialize this data frame as a Avro file and write it into a specific location. So I'll be using the write method and I'll mention the format as Avro and I'll give the location where I want to write it as a Avro file. So the content would get written into this specific location as an Avro file. So the folder would get created and within that I will be having the Avro file. And Avro file, as of now, it is partitioned with 1. In case if I had that particular data frame as n number of partitions, that many number of part files would get written into. And this particular Avro file can be used by many other Hadoop ecosystem components like Hive, Spark, Pig, Hadoop, native libraries. So a number of places this particular Avro file can be read as. Let me come out of this particular scalar shell. Assume this particular file is provided to another client and I'm going to read this specific file. So let me get into the shell once again. I'm using the package. Now I'll read this particular Avro file. I'm going to import all the packages from com databricks Spark Avro. I'm going to read the Avro file. I'll provide the location where I have the Avro file. So this is the path. I'm going to read from this specific location. So I'll use the Spark session, say read, and the format I wanted to read is Avro. I'll provide the path. So it will read the Avro file and create a data frame directly, and I can take this particular data frame for further processing. So dataframe.show will display me this particular data frame. So I have it. Now while writing the Avro file, I can set the compression type. In case if I want to mention that as a deflate, I can very well do that. So let me write another Avro file. Let me read the JSON file and create a data frame. I have a data frame. I'm going to set the compression type as deflate and the deflate level as 8. So I'll set the property spark.sql.avro.compression.codec as deflate and the property spark.sql.avro.deflate.level as 8. Now I'm going to write the Avro file from this specific data frame. You see there will be a difference. It would get compressed and it's going to use the factor 8. See the difference with the snappy compression, where I did not mention explicitly what compression to use. This was the size, and here I used the deflate level as 8, and it is going to consume less space while storing that specific Avro file. So in a summary, we are able to serialize a data frame as a Avro file and persist within the hard disk, as well as we are able to read or deserialize a Avro file and create a data frame out of it. Once if I have the data frame, I can take it further for further processing.